351 nodes, 92% community sentiment, $20 million in shorts about to get absolutely wrecked. Kaspa is setting up what might be the most violent short squeeze we've seen in the altcoin market this quarter, and most traders are completely asleep at the wheel right now. Welcome back to the channel, crypto fam. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing with your life? Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications because we're about to break down a setup that could print serious gains or teach you an expensive lesson about liquidity traps. Let's get into it. KAS has been building something fascinating under the hood. We're talking a 7% pump today, community sentiment hitting 92%, and a technical pattern so textbook it belongs in a trading manual. But before you FOMO your entire portfolio into this thing, we need to talk about what's really happening here, because the same setup that could send KAS to 8 cents also has a trapdoor at 4.7 cents, and trust me, you don't want to be holding bags if that floor gives out. Let's start with the most important piece of data nobody's talking about, liquidity positioning. According to on-chain data, the majority of Kaspa's liquidity is stacked to the upside, stretching all the way to 8 cents. That's not a typo. Meanwhile, there's a smaller liquidity cloud sitting just below current price down to 4.7 cents, and below that, absolutely nothing. It's a ghost town, a tumbleweed desert, the Sahara of liquidity. What this tells us is simple. The market has drawn battle lines. Bulls are betting on a move to 8 cents. Bears are desperately defending the 4.7 cents support. And whoever wins this fight is going to win big, because there's no middle ground here. Now, add this spicy ingredient to the mix. Kaspa Daily reports that over $20 million worth of shorts are sitting on the table, waiting to be liquidated if price touches 6 cents. $20 million. That's not retail traders shorting with their lunch money. That's serious capital betting against Kaspa, and if they're wrong, we're about to witness a short squeeze that'll make GameStop jealous. Here's where things get interesting. Kaspa Girl, one of the most accurate sentiment trackers in the KAS community, points out that community sentiment just rocketed back to 92%, while price sentiment exploded from just over 5 cents to almost 7 cents in just 1 week. And get this! Kaspa's leading the Bullish leaderboard at 88.3% votes. When was the last time you saw an altcoin with that kind of unified bullish conviction? Exactly. But sentiment alone doesn't move markets. Liquidity and technical setups do. And right now, KAS is painting a picture that technical analysts dream about. 351 active nodes. That number might not sound sexy, but it's quietly one of the most bullish indicators for any proof-of-work blockchain. More nodes mean more decentralization, more security, and more community members who believe in this project enough to actually run infrastructure. These aren't tourists holding KAS on Binance, these are believers putting their hardware where their mouth is. In my expert opinion, node growth is the metric most traders ignore until it's too late. By the time everyone's talking about it, the price has already 10x. We're still early on this narrative. Now let's talk technicals, because this is where Kaspa gets juicy. On the 1-hour chart, we're seeing a bump and run reversal pattern. And no, that's not a dance move from the 80s. This is one of the rarest and most reliable bullish reversal patterns in technical analysis. The setup unfolds in 3 phases. First, the lead-in phase, where KAS got rejected from its descending trend line near 6.5 cents and dumped hard. Then came the bump phase, where price bottomed around just under 5 cents, probably shaking out every weak hand who bought the top. Finally, we got the breakout above trendline resistance, followed by a throwback retest. That retest? That's not weakness. That's the market confirming support before the next leg up. So, as I'm recording this, KAS is trading around 5.4 cents, just below the 200-hour moving average at about 5.64 cents. This moving average is the gatekeeper right now. If we break above it with conviction, we're off to the races. But if we fail to reclaim it, we're probably going sideways or even down. And hey, remember those $20 million in shorts? They're not randomly placed, folks. They're clustered around key resistance levels, with a massive concentration just above 6 cents. If Kaspa pushes through that level, we're looking at a cascade of forced buying as shorts scramble to close their positions. This isn't just speculation, this is literally how liquidation mechanics work. Short squeezes are beautiful because they create explosive price action. The shorts get liquidated, which triggers market buys, which pushes price higher, which liquidates more shorts, which triggers even more buying. It's a feedback loop that can send an asset parabolic in just minutes. You don't bet the farm on a short squeeze. You position for it, manage your risk, and take profits on the way up. Because honestly, just as quickly as these setups pump, they can dump when the squeeze runs out of fuel. Let's revisit that liquidity positioning, because it's honestly critical. Liquidity stacked up to 8 cents means market makers and whales are expecting upside, but that thin liquidity cushion down to 4.7 cents is a warning sign. If something breaks bearish, maybe Bitcoin dumps, maybe some macro news hits, or maybe a whale decides to unload, there's just not much support to catch the fall until 4.7 cents. Below that, you're in free fall territory. No meaningful buy orders, no safety net, just you, your bags, and the realization that you probably should have read the liquidity charts before aping in. So, my expert opinion, this is a defined range trade until proven otherwise. You really want to respect the $4.047 support and target the 6-cent resistance. And if we break above 6 cents with volume, that's when you start thinking about that 8-cent target. If this bump-and-run reversal pattern completes as expected, and KAS reclaims that 200-hour moving average with authority, we're looking at a measured move to $0.06359. From current levels around 5.4 cents, that's roughly 17% upside. Not exactly life-changing money, but hey, those are some solid gains for a swing trade, especially if you're compounding across multiple altcoins. The beauty of trading patterns like this is they give you clear invalidation points. If KAS fails to hold above 5 cents, the pattern's dead, and you exit. Simple, clean. No emotions, no hopium. Just probability and risk management. None of this happens in a vacuum. Bitcoin's up over 3%, Ethereum's pumping 4%, and the entire altcoin market is catching a bid. When Bitcoin leads, altcoins follow, sometimes with leverage. Kaspa's 7% gain today is riding that broader momentum, but it's also showing relative strength. That's important. Relative strength means when the market dips, KAS might hold better. When the market pumps, KAS might pump harder. That's the kind of asset you want in your portfolio during a bull run. Let's be honest for a second. Every analysis, every pattern, every prediction can fail. Markets don't care about your rent money or your conviction. They do what they do. So if you're trading this setup, use stop losses. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. And for the love of Satoshi, don't leverage trade this without experience. I've seen too many traders get liquidated chasing short squeezes because they over-leveraged and didn't respect volatility. Don't be that person. Alright fam, that's the Caspa setup in a nutshell. 351 nodes securing the network, $20 million in shorts ready to pop, bullish technical patterns forming, and community sentiment at 92%. This is either the beginning of a beautiful rally or a masterclass in liquidity traps. If you enjoyed this breakdown, check out my other videos, and don't forget to drop a comment below with your KAS price prediction. Are we hitting 8 cents or are we dumping to 4.7 cents? Let me know what you think. Hit that like button if you want more altcoin deep dives, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay profitable, stay sharp, and remember, none of this is financial advice. Crypto is risky, volatile, and can wreck your portfolio faster than you can say short squeeze. Do your own research, manage your risk, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. I'm not your financial advisor, I'm just a degen with a microphone and an opinion. Trade safe out there.